Hello. So this is me, all ready to go to the gym. Um, I decided this morning that I'm going to do some uh, yoga at home and then just do one class because I have to walk like 1K to go and get my shopping and then wheel the trolley home with like 5 days shopping in it. And so I think that's a workout in itself. Why does it allow me, well, little young me at nearly 70, keep posting, keep throwing myself out there, even though I'm no longer on Facebook? Am I missing it? Not really. It means it's freed me up. I haven't got my head in front of my phone like this all the time, looking down. It's not good for us, and holding the phone. So um, I keep banging on about, no, first of all, for those who don't know me, if I wasn't doing what I'm doing now, I would have been on repeat prescriptions for the last 20 years. And they're saying in America that medication is now the number one killer. So definitely, had I have been on all the medications that I was on for the last 20 years. Obviously, I was on them for 10 before I gave them up. So I've been off medication for the last 11 years. And if I go to the doctors, because I've had a triple heart bypass, um, the doctors will say that I need to be on heart meds. And I've managed my best 11 years. Even after having the triple heart bypass, I never felt better. I never felt wow. But as soon as I changed my diet and started eating plant-based, raw in the beginning, it was a wow factor. It was like, wow, the heart just started working properly. I wasn't struggling. I couldn't breathe via my nose. 11 years ago, it was just impossible. I breathed through my mouth. My nose was just blocked. And now I can just breathe through my nose. Admittedly, I have to put like a tape on my mouth overnight because I'm like that overnight. So um, there's a difference. There's a big difference, and to have to every 4 months, I think it was every 4 months when I was in Spain, I had to go to the doctors, and once a year I had to go to the cardiologist just for him to say carry on taking the medication. That's not the way, we weren't years ago. There weren't all these medications, but admittedly, the last 10 years, I've not been on any medication. And eating raw, it wasn't bringing my homocysteine down, which is a marker. It can be quite dangerous. It's something in the blood that can cause the heart. It can cause masses of big problems. Look it up. Please look it up. There's an easy test which I just had come back, and my previous test was 3, and this time it was 7.2, which is still within the range. The government will say higher than what Patrick Holford says. So I want to do what Patrick Holford says. I want to have my homocysteine under 7 if I can. So what did I do to achieve this? Well, first off, I did a homocysteine test, and I did a B12 test because I was taking so many vitamins. I got in a bit of a muddle, and my B12 went to 2,000, which too much B12 in the blood can be just as bad as not having enough in the blood. So what I did, I cut down So now I know I've done it myself. I feel really proud because I now know how much of the homocysteine, the B vitamin tablets, which is it's four different things grouped together. Don't know if I can see on one of my pages. Yeah, it's like folate, B12, B6, B2, zinc, and TMG. So, and what Patrick's got, he's got like a chart there. So, what I did to get my B12 down, I cut the homocysteine supplement down to 1. And that's brought me into the 6 to 9 low risk. Brilliant, because I was in the very high risk and above when I started all this. So I'm going to take 2 supplements, not 1. I'm going to take 2, plus my multivitamin, which has got everything in it. And I'm just amazed that that I'm doing this myself. I'm doing this. I'm living the best life, but I'm taking control of my life myself. I'm not using doctors, because if you look at the doctors, they're usually very unfit themselves. They're usually massive. They're not. If they were doing it right, they'd be looking perfect. So so I've done 2 tests. Both tests have been fantastic. I did notice recently that because 11 years ago or before that, I was diagnosed with arthritis. My knees was atrophied. I had it in my hips. And I used to have cortisone injections, nerve tablets, and stay in bed for 10 days when it was really bad. And it took ages. I must admit, I went down from a size 14 to a size 8 very quickly. But my knees were still atrophied at that time. And my knees wouldn't fit into a size 8 jeans. But now, if I want to go into a size, I'm not a size 8 anymore. I'm a size 10, a happy size 10 now. But my knees are in proportion with the rest of my body, and I can, 11 years ago, I couldn't use my knees. I couldn't get on my knees. Now I can get on my knees. I can do everything that I'm supposed to be doing. So I was going to tell you about my thumb. Now, my thumb last week was so swollen and painful, and I just thought, well, I need to look up what's wrong. And I've diagnosed myself with this one. It's thumb arthritis. So then I started doing the research. I'm not embarrassed to show it now. Before I was really embarrassed. It's still there, but the inflammation from around, or it's the fibrin. I might have got the name wrong, because I read all these things and it doesn't really sink in. But apparently the reason that it was big was that it had too much fibrin. So I'm now taking a supplement for that as well. And within days, the pain, I'm amazed. The swelling has gone right down, and I'm not getting any pain. And I could use the hand. There was nothing wrong with the way that I use the hand. But I'm just amazed that a supplement with the diet, so I'm eating the perfect diet. I wish that I could just eat salad in the evening and not have the steamed, but I'm doing the best I can. So, I eat fruit for breakfast, fruit for lunch, and I have salad and steamed vegetables for my dinner. And then I take my supplements. And no, there might be people out there that I haven't got anything wrong with them, then that's fine. Don't use the doctors. Don't, just plod along. But for me, because I've been down that road, I've had a full hysterectomy, precancerous cells in my stomach, so full hysterectomy, ovaries, womb, everything gone. And I've had this triple heart bypass, and I've had so much more done to me. So I've been along the medical route since I was 40. But when I hit 59, that's when I realised that the medical route wasn't making me better. It was just like a band-aid. It wasn't improving my health in any way. It's so easy to improve our health. All we have to do is give up the cause. So for me, for 10 years, it was just eat raw, or eating fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. I don't need anything else. I don't need no supplements. But it was wrong, because blood tests were showing me that I didn't have things under control. Now that I'm doing what I'm doing, all my blood tests are absolutely perfect. And I'm feeling the benefit. Homocystein is a marker for dementia. And I had a slight shuddering in my head. And it was scary, because my stepson actually said to me, "Mum, I can see your head is shaking." I was lacking B vitamins. Don't ask me why, because I eat lots of foods with B vitamins in, but not B12. But I've always taken a B12 supplement. So it wasn't because of lack of B12. There was something going on. Taking the supplements meant it brought my triglycerides, my cholesterol, my HDL, my LDL, my homocysteine, everything is in range. So I feel that I need to keep saying this. I need to keep saying, if you're starting to have a high blood pressure or something, do something about it, because that's the sign that things are wrong. If you're going to the gym and you're going in the sauna and you can only do a couple of minutes in the sauna, there's something wrong. I can now do 30 minutes, no problem. My heart really doesn't struggle with the heat anymore. Whereas before I could only do 2 minutes. So we are what we eat, and we are what we think, and we are what we do, but it's so easy. And health, I suppose once we're hitting our 70s, it can be quite scary. There's nobody there to help me. I am on my own in this one. I've not got family around me, only my brother. My brother needs caring for. My brother's, I'm afraid, is on the decline mentally. And my sister needs me as well. Lucky for me, I have my health and I can help the both of them. But anyway, I've rambled on enough. Love you all. And there is health after illness, even if you've had a triple heart bypass or you've had stents. If you don't change anything, those stents are going to wear out. That triple heart bypass is going to wear out. And then, they want to blast you with something else. You don't need that. All you need to do is watch what goes on the end of your fork. If the diet works, no supplements. If the diet needs tweaking, then have some supplements, Thereby I rest my case. I love you all. Bye.